molting.
I'm molting.
A lot.
Look!
Oh.
My hair's falling out. That's how sick I've been.
Poor
That's
baby.
dreadful.
We'll just put it on the floor.
DNA suggests I've been here.
It does suggest. Video evidence also suggests.
Oh, video, yeah, of course.
Hello and welcome to Creative Living, and I'm Max.
And I'm Amie.
And we're going to talk today about how you cope with putting all your work, your love, your energy into the universe, and when you're not really seeing the results that you want, how you top yourself up.
Yeah. Basically, just wanted to discuss ways in which we can fill ourselves up when we spend so much of our time giving out, when we are creators and we put things out into the world. We're trying to get people to see us. And before we are seen, that can be just exhausting because you're giving so much to the world, but the universe doesn't seem responsive, basically. And just how we can serve ourselves so we don't burn out, because I think it's like a recipe for burning out. To keep putting yourself out there, seeing no response, and then not caring for yourself in particular ways.
And I think a lot of this can stem sometimes for when you judge your own value based on what other value people give you.
Yes.
So it's a really great thing to be able to identify whether you're topping yourself up or someone else is topping yourself up by how you're feeling when you put your work out there. Like if you're not getting the response that you want, how do you feel in those situations if you're not getting what you want back? Do you still feel valued, or do you feel suddenly like you're not being seen or you're not being acknowledged? It's a good...
I agree. I think it's very hard not to put your own value, not to link your own value to how others respond to you, but it's a really important thing to do as an artist, of any type of artist. And when you put your work out there, you need to be firm in the opinion. So if you could go to an audition and you do the audition and you feel like that was a good audition, that truth needs to stay even when you don't get the role. Or when I put my manuscript out there and I know that it's a good manuscript, just because I'm not getting any feedback, I'm not getting any results, doesn't mean that changes what I first believed. And it's being firm in that. And like, that's really easy to say, but it's really hard to do because like we're humans and we live in a social community and we look for connection. So it's not something to beat yourself up about. Like, I think that's something I've learned. Like, I used to always be like, why can't I just be okay with how I think I am? But it's very hard when you spend years of your life not getting any feedback.
And I think also the work that we do is naturally personal.
Yes.
Even if it's not putting your face out there, it's still personal in whatever creative work you're doing, whatever creative field you're in. But also realizing, I think sometimes the best way to avoid feeling undervalued is when you put all your love into the work and forget about you in the process.
Yes.
And I don't mean totally forget about yourself. You need to treasure and love yourself as well. But if you can put everything you have into whatever work you're doing, and you can firmly say at the end of it that you love it, outside of what other people are going to think, I think that's often the first step to then feeling like you're filling yourself up, no matter whether other people can see you for who you are and see your work for what it is.
Yes.
It's almost taking yourself out of feeling self-conscious.
Yeah.
And putting it all into the work and making it about the work and loving the work that you're doing.
Yes.
Even before you feel like you've hit the spot, like even before, if you produce something, you go, oh my God, it's a bit tacky. And it's like one of the videos I was telling Amie about that I've just produced. Haven't posted it yet, but I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh my God, it's really tacky and it's so corny. And I feel like it's going to be one of those videos I look back on and giggle over because it's one of my first videos. But I still love it. And so I'm getting that,
and you've
the
got
buzz
to
from it.
hold that when you put it out there.
And just holding on to that. So it doesn't really matter what other people think because I know that I love it.
Yeah, totally.
And it means something more to me to go, oh, this is going to be something I look back on. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's something really endearing about that as well. Going, oh, like, you're always going to be a part of me.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a part of your story. Yeah. Totally. I love that. I think other ways to fill yourself back up when you have been putting so much out is to make sure that you consume content. So if you're only writing but you're not reading, or if you're only acting but not enjoying movies, like just making sure that we consume art as well as being the creators of it, and finding that to be a way to fill yourself back up.
That's a great point, actually.
Yeah. I find, obviously the practice of consuming art, whatever form it is going to improve you as a creator. But I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about consuming art because it fills you up and because you love it. Like reading books, not to improve your writing, but because that's a joy and your soul needs that. So making sure that you're not just like a machine that's pumping out the art, but you're a consumer of the art as well. It fills you up. And it can be as simple as just like rereading the Harry Potter books and remembering why you love the magic of storytelling. Instead of just feeling like all you got to do all day, every day is just pump out the words, send them off to publishers, get nothing back. Just taking that time to remember why you love your art form.
And actually leading off that, another great tip is, consuming the work that you love from other people in your field, but also giving them love and support.
Yeah.
And actually going, I value what you do and I see you because, this is what you might not necessarily be in that field, but also acknowledging other artists and other creative people on their journey before they've made it or after they've made it, doesn't matter, but just sending out a lot of love can also be a really great way to top yourself up when you're not particularly feeling like you're getting what you want.
Yes, that's so important. I love that. Like to just approach an artist and be like, I see your work. Like, can you imagine how that would feel to you?
Yeah.
I see your work and I love it.
Yeah.
That is such an important part of what we need to do as creators in a community, is look at others and lift them up.
And I think that's probably why we started Creative Living, honestly, was to do that.
Yes.
Was to reach out and be like, we see you, we get it. We're all in this together.
Yes.
And that can often be a really great way to reconnect with something outside of whatever self-conscious feelings that you have about yourself and about your work.
Yes.
That you can say that to someone else, a total stranger, I see you. And to have that happen to you, someone that doesn't owe you anything, but will sit down and spend that minute writing a post to just say thank you or I see you. It's special.
Yes. The messages that I've gotten on my Instagram from people who have said that, like, and I say like thank you so much, but like I really cannot express my gratitude for people who reach out and tell me that they see me and that they're thankful for me. It's just like invaluable to me. It just keeps me going. It's very hard to feel like you're not being seen, to feel like you're not getting any response from the universe. And so these small reminders from people just literally mean the world. So important. I have this one memory from when I was working for myself and doing social media stuff, and I was never getting any feedback from my clients. I just did the work. And when I was writing my first book, and didn't realize, but I think I had maybe spent a whole year without hearing anybody give me any type of feedback, negative or positive, about like the work that I did. And I got a message from one of my clients, and they were just like, oh, I really like this post you did. And it was like bullshit. Like, it was just like a quick bit of feedback. They were like, I really like that. Thank you very much. And I cried for hours. And it's so bizarre, the world we live in, where we're deprived of like just knowing that we like impact. And I think we have to be very aware of it as artists, because we're super at risk of feeling like we live in a vacuum.
And like we were just saying, we're talking about the Instagram algorithm, and even that changing. I can see the benefits of it for sure, but you can feel very powerless when you've got some other robot determining where your post is seen and how often your post is seen, and also these tips are really important for that, for when there's moments where you just have no control and it doesn't really feel fair that your post is literally limited to what Instagram decides.
Yeah.
And having that inner value for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what Instagram does, and it's why it's very addictive, is especially for artists that haven't made it, is that it gives you numerical value. It gives you literal numbers of value for your work that you do. And that's very addictive for people that don't get any value. Then, you know, if you're not getting income, if you're not getting work, to have like Instagram give you numerical numbers, which is like, obviously doesn't mean anything, but it's a really easy way that we can value ourselves and value our work, because it's like a platform that does that. It's basically a valuing platform.
Yeah, it is.
And it's addictive, and it can be harmful if you put all your value on that, because it can just fuck you up. Like, you know, the algorithm is strange. Like, you can be pushed out to hundreds of thousands of people or be held back to, you know, hundreds or less. And that's not about you. That's not about your work. It's literally equations. And even though it looks like it's giving you numerical value, it isn't giving you any value. Like, it's not, it's very dangerous.
I've had a few people say, oh my God, Mackie, I loved your post the other day and it really resonated with me and it made me feel like I needed to start putting myself out there and doing what I really love to do. But I had no idea. Like, that's lovely.
Exactly.
That's so lovely that they told me that in person. But had they not told me, I would have
no
just thought,
idea.
oh, like that probably just went straight over their head. Like, I had no idea that actually did have an impact. And so even though the algorithm is designed to show posts that they think that someone will like, it's not necessarily determining the actual impact.
Yes,
it can have on
100%.
people.
You can have a post that has no likes, but like changes somebody's life.
Yeah.
That's such a good point.
So yeah, having a little strategies up your sleeve to deal with things like that, where just it's out of your control what results you get from the universe, but it is in your control when it comes to putting things out there and giving value to other people, and also just trusting that you're on the right path, because I think your gut tells you that. At the end of the day, you know, if you love that work that you did, that's all that really matters in the end.
Yes, totally. I think just before we finish up, I think like there's other really simple things to just check in with yourself when you're in this process of giving out. Things like, what's in your fridge? You know, have you drunk enough water today? Like really basic filling yourself up moves. Like, why didn't you
Literally fill yourself up, like eat.
Yeah. Go to the shop and buy, you know, one of your favorite foods and put it in your fridge, and fill yourself up, you know, because you deserve it. Just because you're not having immediate responses in the universe doesn't mean you don't deserve like abundant kindness and softness and your favorite food in your fridge. Like simple things like that. What's your favorite movie? Take time off, go buy yourself a coffee, read a book at a cafe, and buy your favorite yogurt or whatever it is.
Yeah, like a reward system. Even if you only write 2 words, or you've taken 1 photo that week, or done half a painting, reward yourself. Always reward yourself, even if you've done nothing. Find a way to be kind and giving yourself the results that you want in other ways. If you want someone to buy you a coffee, well then why don't you go buy yourself that coffee?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, just treat yourself how you want the universe to treat you.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Goodbye. Au revoir.